and one map that we are recommending if you want to play on the golden standard or play an alternative. But here for this tournament, we gave our players the option, if you guys want to decide between these two maps that we are submitting, then basically go for the map that you prefer. And make sure you find an agreement. And so far, I haven't heard on any fights going off that would need a circle of chairs and then it being talked through. So we are fine so far. A little bit of pointing, hopefully a nose boop. Unfortunately not happening because we're in a tournament. After all, swing coming through and Vogue is on the run here on the Wrecker's Yard. Has a good setup here with the jungle gym next to the shack and hopefully the window being open on the bus, question mark. No, it's not open. That's going to be a little bit of a loss here for Vogue, not having the best karma against this killer. But Zach, if he makes it back safe, I was expecting him to use the life there, because now he's not going to make it. That was kind of a miscalculation.
Yeah, he's going to take a tag. Unfortunate on that bus. It's not the best to play. Well, I mean, it's not the strongest version of it that you can find. Of course, the window vault being in the middle makes it a lot easier to play, especially against Pig. But we are back at shack now. Safer area. We are going to do a few loops. Does have resilience. And not going to... Well, going to fake the window a little too early before Karma goes around the backside. Shack pallet going to be dropped. And we are going back over to this pallet gym here. We do still have this pallet. Now, with these tiles, it's a lot easier to check spot because there's a lot of gaps. But the little crouch ability from the Pig can, well, sometimes block your vision. Back around to this bus, but the gen there actually lost a little bit of distance. Is this going to be a second hit? Does he have a fill pallet? He does. Okay, going to drop that. Going to play this around again. Has the resilience and yeah, reads the break really nice there, getting some distance, especially when you're in such a dead zone of the map. And it's going to follow him around. Does have the vault here on this pallet gym, but opting to maybe go over towards this truck here. There's no truck filler there. It doesn't look like. So we do have another pallet gym, a little bit of safety, and the mind game is going to be played. Fakes the break actually, a little spicy mind game, but pxpx is running out of resources here to use. Does still have life, but the patience, wow. Oh my goodness, reading the double back, and that gives him the distance he needs to make over to this pallet gym. Yes, pallet gym after pallet gym. Look at the, oh no.
Agreed.
Yeah,
when
nice
in doubt, hold W. That's the rule, right? What they always say, the comp players at least. When you're in doubt or when you're unsure, always hold W. And he was unsure here. He was in the pallet. He was unsure. Is it going to be left or right where he's going around? And obviously, the reaction time is really short that you get on this tile. So when in doubt, hold W. Go towards the longer leg of this tile, basically. Then you definitely gain some distance. Definitely waste some time from the killer. And you have the chance to check out if, what turn the killer is taking, maybe even confusing a little bit or mind gaming himself on the pallet, going for that swing, but then you don't stand in that pallet anymore because you have moved towards the edge of the tile and then you take the advantage as well. But still a pretty good chase, if you're asking me. You can definitely be proud of that. Also the fact that the lithe was available so late, because you remember I basically expected him to take the lithe early at the fun bus. Of course, this would have made sure that he doesn't get injured so early, but keeping your exhaustion perk for so long is pretty strong. However, you don't want to keep it for too long, because here we didn't even use it really, and we kept it for so long that we ran out of resource, and then eventually, unfortunately, going down here. Karma checking real quick how it's going to look like. Not too excessive, because we quickly want to start with the chase, and that's going to be right here. Snoot Booper Amanda is going to try and get Karma down now, who's not dropping the shack pallet, following the tradition of the 1v1 players. You try to waste as much time on the shack as possible before you're leaving it, and in best case you even save the shack pallet for longer, doing that very beautifully here with the lithe finesse combo. Now you can move around, and if really needed, you can drop the pallet right here. Wonderful half a minute, easily being grinded out of the shack in total safety, and now we can start looking for the other tiles here. Here's a 4-lane, not going to be the easiest mind game, but he does read the killer correctly, can now make it over towards the window here. Pretty strong play by our survivor. So far hesitant there on the window, but then with the unexpected medium vault back towards the filler pallet here, and that should be in time. Yeah, he actually wanted to read that to keep the pallet, and then felt a little bit too unsure, getting punished here now for too many vaults over the pallet. The killer reading this time that Feng is going to take the next panic vault kinda as well, and that's also going to be a difficult position here, and Amanda expecting that there would be the down. That's a pretty quick down. That is half of the chase time almost. So pxpx here really putting the pressure down in the very first set on the pig, almost a minute stronger than the opponent. That's really well done.
Yeah, pxpx showing his killer skills there. I am aware somewhat of his ability from the ladder, and super consistent player. I feel like I guess we go into some of the decisions there to play that sort of short side pallet, very risky. But maybe wanted the hit for the distance into the other side of the map, but unfortunately had like almost kind of like a maze tile almost. I think that's what it's called, with the pallet and then the window, and not the safest against the pig, to be honest, because there's just so many ways to be mind gamed on it, and every sort of ounce of that tile is just a short wall. So some element of RNG there, but got really good value from Shaq, to be honest. Karma did. But we are going into the second set now, which I honestly have. Oh, it's the Bubba set, isn't it? So Bubba 1v1's really, bit of a sort of fan favorite, I think, just because it's Bubba, to be honest. But the chainsaw sweeps, the distance you get from them, and I think getting good pallet stuns as well is going to make or break these chases. But yeah, a lot of mind games in the Bubba sets too, which are always really fun to watch. And so we'll see, we've got pxpx on the killer first, and Karma loading in, having a little bit of a scout, has a filler tile outside a check. It looks like a pallet gym there. Oh no, maze tile, never mind. Just having a quick look on the wreckage yard. But Bubba set, yeah, I'm very excited to see what these players can do with this killer. I've seen Bubba sets go for 30 seconds, and I've seen them go for like 5 minutes before, so it could go either way. We'll see as we go through Shack. Gonna opt to path away from it, save it for later. Just have this pallet gym here. Just, doesn't actually go through with a chainsaw sweep. Looks like he wants to zone him instead. Not opting to go around, trying to mind game it with the chainsaw. I'm not sure. I feel like you have to break that. Yeah, he does. Karma using these check spots very nicely. A lot of double backs from pxpx, but he is going to concede the window. Just have this filler here to use if he so needs it. Going to go around the outside. Oh, nice little double back. See these little weaving movements here. Saving a lot of time, a lot of double backs. Getting a lot of time on these filler pallets. A bit conservative with the chainsaw, and he's gonna land an M1 big swing through the pallet. A little friendly teabag there as that hit connects, but very smartly pxpx is just not letting him away from this tile, not gonna give him Shack. Karma's gonna need to stun here to get really in the distance, but yeah, just playing M1 chase right now. Does decide to drop it. And no, he fakes the chainsaw sweep again, and he's gonna. No, he fakes the pallet, goes back around. It's gonna live for a little bit longer, and that little mind game buying a little more distance. And this, most of the chase has been on this tile. I'll be honest. This is pretty impressive to see. And does he get to Shack? No, he's staying at this tile, and that is gonna be Karma going down. Not really able to make it to most of the map. Yeah, I don't know. Not much chainsaw usage for me. Just M1.
I was a little bit worried because I felt like pxpx was giving a lot of mind game potential out of one pallet, right? He really didn't want to break it. So I was really hoping that we will eventually see that down coming in, because imagine you gamble for this 1v1 mind game, trying to force out the wall, then the survivor does it eventually, and then you miss it and you lose all that bloodlust, and you can basically just freely add another minute. So it was a very risky strategy that pxpx took here, forcing that M1 on the window. Luckily, it worked out to him. To me, it was interesting in that trial also how Karma utilized his life, because it didn't seem like he showed any attempt to make the distance there. He was basically just proccing the life and then zooming one time around the jungle gym and going for a little safari on this one tile. But usually we see the life in the perfect moment being used when the killer is kind of trying to walk around it, right? Trying to mind game you. You then try to utilize the life to make distance towards the next tile, because then you don't only reach the next tile while keeping a potentially drop pallet for safety later, you're also adding a good amount of 10 seconds due to the travel distance that the killer has. So it was a very interesting trial. pxpx, I think, can be fine at the end, but it was an interesting dynamic how these two players decided to battle it out. And now pxpx is on the survivor team on the survivor team with himself. 95 seconds are to beat, and we are instantly going in here. Wrecker's Yard, one of the most played maps in comp overall, not only in the 1v1 community. So these players know everything by heart, and let's see when we will see life being utilized. It is almost instantly at the beginning, and once again not really getting away from the shack. Now you have to drop it, sacrificing the god pallet here like it's another filler. Smart to move around like this to gain a little bit of extra distance, and forcing the Leatherface to basically allow you the reach of shack again. We also have the filler pallet, but the actually no M1 coming out. I was about to say yeah, but now he's kind of allowing the zone here, because he was moving towards the outside of that filler pallet. And if Leatherface is playing that correctly, our little cute Bubba, then he should be able to take advantage of that. That's going to be vault number 1 through the window, trying to fake it, but Bubba not taking it. Does fake the chainsaw for a moment, but then just going for the M1. Pallet keeps standing, even though it's not the safest resource there on the outside of the map, so you don't really want to find yourself fighting for the win condition on that tile. So pxpx just moving over, and we do have the fun bus, and we do have it open. That should then be enough to take the win here if there's no mistake coming out. He's going to hold W away from the bus now, forced to by the Bubba. Will he make the window? That's going to be, I feel like, a pretty and potentially close really run. Close. We will have to see the video referee. 1-2 seconds off. Should be Karma taking the win. There's the confirmation. Karma is taking it. Shout out to our video assistants, referees. Just like in German Bundesliga, they are sitting somewhere in a basement watching the screen. We have really prepared DBDLeague for this event. We have taken our shovels, building our own VAR basement, and this is where Toby and Savannah are currently sitting with a pizza box and making sure that everything is going smooth here. So Karma taking it. That's a tie. Was not expecting that, to be honest. I'm saying Toby. Zach was not expecting that at all, I have to say. After we've seen the previous round in 95 seconds, it felt like it should have been the 2-0, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the both players played it a little bit differently. We had pxpx kind of zoning, not letting Karma get to those stronger tiles. But then the standard sort of follow with the chainsaw. There's not too much stagger from the chainsaw, so it's why it's a pretty good strategy to use. But I mean, even considering, I feel like pxpx got so much distance around the map, considering how like close some of those encounters were. He vaulted as he ran around the window shack. He just lunged over it, like in his face, basically, and then was breaking the pallets right behind him. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, these sets can can go so differently sometimes, especially with his insta-down killers like Bubba. And we'll also choose how to play it. But now we have Demogorgon on Wrecker's Yard. I think like Wrecker's Yard has been the map for this 1v1, I'll be honest. It's been played so far on all of them. Makes it over to this 4-lane tile. It's going to see the windows open there in the middle. So we do have Fun Bus, a little bit of distance. Is BAM going to be used? Looks like it is. Going to make it around to the pilot side. Oh, no. Yeah, it was BAM. Sorry. That was the corner of my eye. Spot that. And Shred going to be used to zone. I don't think he makes it to that pallet. He's going to have to play this side. And does he have... Yeah, not going to be able to get the stun. He's going to get the shed break. Does have this TNR wall here. Lithe going to be used. But running to the bot side, did he have a dumpster pallet there? I didn't see. Oh, double vault on the L side of the wall. And a little bit of jiggy here. Oh my god! Look at the pathing. Oh no, he manages to spot it. So this is going to be an M1. Never mind, he shreds it. He dodges it. Okay, I was expecting an M1 there. Opting to go for the M2. Really nice dodge there from pxpx. And yeah, he doesn't quite have enough distance to make it to that pallet. Yeah, he's going to take the hit and run back towards the shack, the anchor of this map, the connecting middle section. But does he have enough distance? He does. He's got a full tile here. I can't see because I can't remember. Yeah, he does have a truck tile. He has a truck pallet even. I'm yapping. And is going to opt to camp this. Yeah, makes it into this. Looks like a maze tile. Yeah. And really nice patience on the pallet there. Isn't going to concede the down. Oh, fakes the window and he goes flying into the metal. And he now has the distance to make it over to this pallet, and the resources are dwindling, but no, he has quite a strong side of this map that he can use. A nice little mind game. Really good pathing here from pxpx. Well, that was insane pathing, actually. And he's still at the tile. Oh, no, he's figured that out now, but oh, does he have enough distance to make it to this? Does he have a full tile here? He does. Oh, there's a lot of pallets on this map. I'd say the orange is pretty good, but Karma's zoning is incredible, and that is going to be the down onto pxpx. I find some very close moments there.
Yeah, definitely. I loved how he was dodging while not even looking behind him. Yeah. That was like the baby mag that you find at 2 a.m. in your solo queue match, the baby mag that is running and somehow making it out. Now, of course not. There was some calculation in. Roughly 2 minutes and 30 seconds for this first chase to round it up. 2 minutes 27 was the exact time that was achieved here. Pretty strong run, I would say. We have seen a lot shorter today against the Demogorgon. And this was kind of what I hoped not to see, right? Because I feel like this should have finished in a 2-0. As we've said earlier, the Bubba game, there was a lot of back and forth going on, and definitely the problem here now, Karma is a little bit making the comeback here with the tiebreaker being forced, but then 2 minutes and 27 was not what I was hoping for. I thought Karma is now getting into this mindset. I'm making the comeback. I'm coming out strong here, so I'm cutting it down earlier than that. And now running 2 minutes 27, that is actually quite a task. So let's see, ladies and gentlemen, what Karma has for us in this potentially final run for him in the tournament here. Will be will be taken out of the tournament if the time is not exceeding 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Good start, I would say, when we are looking for the tiles here. Having the crane, that is a guaranteed pallet break, but at the end of the day, you are now kind of towards the edge of the map, so you need to make sure that you're finding safety quickly. For example, with a phenomenal dodge that is now coming out into the Lithe as well. It's going to be an insane some distance gain that Karma is coming up with here into the jungle gym as well. Demogorgon has to shred that pallet really strong, and we are already aiming towards the 1 minute mark. Shred coming out again, not going to find the target. Is done. Coming out, the things really working out for our survivor here, playing so well, but over peaking on the edge. That's going to be the injury, and we are only on 1 minute, a little bit after 1 minute, but we need an entire 90 seconds in addition to that. Karma running out of resources in this corner of the wrecker's yard, at least. Has the dropped pallet here, has dropped the crane already, and it's also destroyed. The shack is not going to be the safest tile anymore when the Demogorgon is so close behind you. So where do you run? You have to win one of these 50-50s, but the 50-50 means that Karma is leaving our tournament. pxpx winning 2-1 here. Very well done. Congratulations for this.